Hi, welcome to Physics 102. This is your instructor, Julia Nicholas. In this short video, we're going to go over everything you need to know to get started with the course, including how to contact your instructor, which is me, Julia Nicholas. We'll cover what is Physics 102, some important dates for the college as a whole, the course layout in our system called Canvas. We'll go over a little bit of information from the course syllabus, text, and an overview of assignments and grading. And lastly, go over how to succeed in an online course. So this is me, your instructor, Julia Nicholas. My email is juliamnicholas@faculty.klamathcc.edu. Please see the syllabus or the Contact Me extra credit link under modules for my phone number. So first off, I'd just like to start with why I teach online. And I spent several years taking online courses. So I've done the traditional campus courses and I've done a lot of online courses as well. And I know the benefits and also frustrations in being an online student. That's not actually me in the top picture, but that could have been me about 2 years into my last degree. So I got to the point of being really frustrated with online courses, and I know that there are some definite challenges when you are taking classes online. But I do hope through what I've learned, I can make your online education experience a positive one and help you to reach your long-term goals. Also, life is busy, and probably like you, I have a lot of things I'm trying to juggle, and I want to maximize the time that I can spend with my family, and working online allows me to do that. That's my son there on the right-hand picture, and I love getting to work at home and spend time with my kids. But also, I think that online education is really beneficial, and that's why a lot of you are taking it, because you can't take the traditional college courses. So I hope that you enjoy the course and that the online setting will work for you this term. Let's go over a few frequently asked questions before I get started with the details in the class. These come up a lot from different people, and one of them, people are wondering if this course is part of a series and if they needed to have taken Physics 101 first. And yes, it is part of a series, and there was a Physics 101, but you do not need to have taken Physics 101 in order to be successful in Physics 102. We'll cover everything that you need to know to be successful in this course. Secondly, what is Physics 102? It's a conceptual course, and a lot of people are wondering if they need to have a lot of math or science background to be successful in the course. And with a conceptual course, what that means is that we focus on the ideas behind each topic rather than on extensive mathematics. The formulas that we do use are pretty simple, so you need some basic math, but not a lot of in-depth math to be successful. And in Physics 102, we'll cover the middle chapters of the textbook. Physics 101 covered the first third or so of the textbook. This course will cover the middle portion of the textbook, and Physics 103 will cover the end portion of the textbook. And another question that I get asked really frequently is, I'm not good at, or I don't like math or science. Will I do okay in the course? And many of my students have enjoyed the course and the topics that we cover in the course, even if they didn't like math or science or didn't think they did to begin with. The main thing is that you'll keep up on the homework and the reading to be successful, but you don't have to be a math genius in order to succeed. If you are a math genius, you are more than welcome to take the class. And I think that the purpose of this course is to get a really solid understanding of the foundational topics of physics, and that can be very beneficial down the road. I think physics would have been a lot easier for me in college if I had started with a course like this rather than a really math-intensive physics course. So either way, I think it's an interesting and beneficial course. Lastly, like the Big Bang Theory quote, the physics is theoretical, in this case conceptual, but the fun is real. And I think this physics series does have some really interesting topics, and I hope that you enjoy the course. So here are just a few main important dates to keep in mind for all of your courses this term. This is from the academic calendar that's on the KCC website, and this term this is winter term, and so one of the first dates to keep in mind is the last day to drop a course for a full refund, and last day to add a class is Friday, January 12th. So please keep that date in mind if you're wanting to change your schedule around for any of your classes. Friday, January 12th is a first important date to keep in mind. The holidays don't really apply to us as much online because you can adjust your schedule as you need to throughout each week. But those are the campus holidays. And then some other important dates to keep in mind are Friday, March 2nd is the last day to withdraw with a W. So if you need to withdraw from any of your courses, that's the last day to do that with a W. And then our final exams are March 19th through the 23rd. The last day of the term is Friday, March 23rd. Another date to keep in mind is Monday, February 12th is when you can start registering for spring quarter. So good idea to start looking ahead to spring quarter, seeing what you want to take, and getting into the classes that you want. Next, let's look at Canvas, and Canvas is the name of the site where all of your course information is located. If you log into Canvas, it will most likely take you to this screen here, which is called your dashboard. And this is where you'll go to find and submit all of your assignments and tests, as well as view all of your grades and course email. You'll probably see this screen when you log in. Again, this is called your dashboard, but there are also links to this you can click. Essentially is going to have what's in your dashboard, a list of your courses that you're taking. It also has a calendar link, which is great. It has assignments for all your online courses, and then an inbox where you can go to submit emails to your instructor or anyone in the course. So we'll go over those, each of those now. Before I move on, one more thing actually. If you see this icon here, this is the announcements icon, and if you see a number here, that means there are announcements that you have not checked yet. So if you see a number next to that announcement, little microphone there, then please make sure you read those. That means there's something that I'm wanting to share with you regarding the course, and those are important to check out if they pop up there. So when you click on a course, so let's say that you've clicked on the physics course, you will see a list of different links here on the left. One of the main links that you'll go to in the course is this modules link, which has a weekly breakdown of all of your assignments. There's also a link in here to your announcements for the course. You can look at the KCC syllabus or the course syllabus, check out your grades, a list of assignments, and some other general useful features that you can find online here in these links. First off, this is what the modules link looks like. If you click on modules on the left, the first thing that you'll see is a Start Here section. And one of the very first things that you'll want to do is make sure you've looked at the KCC institutional syllabus and the course syllabus, and then take this syllabus quiz. That's what establishes your attendance for the course. It's not worth a whole lot of points, but at the end of the first week, you will get dropped if you have not submitted this quiz for the course. It's what's letting the college know that you are taking the course and that you are actually have logged in and have done some work so that you're present in that course. So please make sure that the very first thing you do for this and for any of your courses is to get that syllabus quiz submitted. After that, you'll see breakdown week by week of everything you need to do for the quarter. I'll go into this a little bit more detail later, but the first thing that you'll do is read the objectives and introduction for the week. So you'll start under week 1. And then the second thing you'll do is start doing all of the assignments for the week. So watching the lecture and doing the discussion, for example, for this week. And whatever is under that module is what you'll need to be doing for that week. Grades is another link here on the left. So we were just in modules, which didn't show up, but it's up here. If you click on grades, you'll see a breakdown of all of your different assignments for the course. If there's a score here, that means it's something you've been submitted, that you have submitted and have been graded on. And at the very bottom is a total. So if you're in the lecture link, it'll show your total for the lecture assignment. And just keep a look at that as you go throughout the quarter, making sure that your grades look accurate and that what you have submitted you have received a grade for. The breakdown that I use for grades is this right here, so 90 to 100% an A, 80 to 89 a B, 70 to 79% C, and so on. Remember that you will receive a separate lecture and lab grade, so you'll want to keep checking your lecture and lab grades throughout the quarter. Assignments is somewhat similar to the grades link. It has a list of all the assignments for the course. but it also has the due dates on this link. So if you click, sorry, over here on the left on assignments, it'll show you a list of all the assignments for the quarter and their due date and how many points they're worth. I personally like to have a list of everything that I need to do and what's coming up, and so something like this would be helpful for me. In this format, if you just would like an overall checklist of what you need to do for the whole quarter, again, you'll see all of these assignments under modules, but this will just give you a list of everything for the quarter. And this is one way to take a look at everything that's due for the course. The other way is through the calendar link, and that shows a monthly format of everything due. We'll go over that in just a minute. So here's the calendar, and if you click, this is on the very left on the red links, if you click the calendar button here, it takes you out of the course and takes you to a calendar where you can view assignments for any of your online courses. If you were to click on these buttons here, it would make the assignments for that course show up on your calendar. If you unclick them, it will make those assignments go away from your calendar. So you can choose to only look at assignments for a certain course or to look at assignments for all of your course. So it's your choice on what you want to view on the calendar. If you click on this arrow here, it will take you to the next month, so you can scan through any of the months and all the assignments you have due. If you, from this point, want to go back to the class, you could hit the back arrow button to get back to the course, but the other way would be to click on the dashboard or courses link and reselect the course. Below the calendar button is the inbox link, and when you click on that, you'll go to the email system through Canvas, and in this section here would be a list of any emails that you have sent or received. And this feather button here, actually this will just show you, you can choose to select if you want to see your inbox or your sent box, and that would show up here. If you want to compose a new email, you would click this feather button here, and you could choose to send an email to any one of your instructors that are using Canvas. For this course, email, of course, is just fine. I tend to check the email system about once a day, so depending on when you send the email to me, you may not get a reply for a day or two later. I will try to get to those as soon as possible, but it tends to take a day or two for me to see and reply to your email. If you are wanting a fast reply, you're working on an assignment and have a question you would like to get answered quickly, text messages are the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me. And I'll go over a little bit later where to find my phone number to send me text messages. If you can't do that, of course, emails are just fine. It is quicker to send text messages if you were able to do that. So again, you can send me emails through that inbox link in Canvas, and I will try to get back to them as soon as possible. Again, if you're working an assignment and want a very quick reply, the quickest way to get in touch with me is to send me a text message. And this is actually an option for extra credit under modules. At the very top under Start Here, I have a Contact Me link for extra credit, and you can receive 10 points of extra credit. You'll click on this link. It has my phone number there. Send me a text message letting me know your name and the course that you're in, and then you'll receive extra credit for doing that. I think it's nice at the beginning just to send me a text message so that you have it in your phone. Easy, my phone number, easy to find if you ever have any questions. Students often ask what is an appropriate time to send texts. I generally am awake between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Don't feel bad about sending me a text at any time. If I'm not awake, I just won't reply. But whenever I am awake, it's what I'm here for, and I'm more than happy to help. I find it, I think it's best for the student and for myself if we get in touch quickly and get your questions answered quickly rather than taking days to wait for emails to be seen and go back and forth. So if you are able to send a text message, again, don't feel bad about sending it. I'm more than happy to help you. And a lot of my students who do really well in the course do send me questions throughout the term asking for help. And I think it makes things go more smoothly and easier on your end if you're able to ask questions when you need to ask them. So again, you can find my phone number here in this Contact Me link, or I also have my phone number in the syllabus near the top of the syllabus if you click on the syllabus link here. Okay, so at this point you're ready to get started with the course. The first thing that you're going to need for the course is the textbook Conceptual Physics by Paul Hewitt. I will be using the 12th edition in the course. If you find an older edition that you'd like to use, that's fine. Just check and make sure as you're doing the reading that the chapter titles match up. So I'm not sure in all the editions if the chapter number will go with the same chapter topic. So just make sure that the chapter topic matches up to the chapter topic that I list under the modules. So in each module, it'll say week 1 covers certain chapters and the topics of those chapters. So just make sure that you're reading the right topic. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask on what you should be reading for the week or what topic we're covering. To get started, when you are ready to get started with the course, you'll click on the modules link on the left and then scroll down to week 1. So for example, in week 1, we'll be covering chapters 1 and 11, which is an intro to physics and the atomic nature of matter. And the first thing to do is to review the objectives and introduction. Here I'll share any helpful information for the week and go over what you'll be doing for the week. In most weeks, you'll start, the next thing to do would be to review the lecture. So click on this link here. And then once you've reviewed the lecture, you can do all the other activities for the week. So you may have a discussion, homework, quizzes, and then in the lab portion of the course, you'll have a lab activity or lab report due each week during weeks 1 through 10. And we don't have a lab assignment due during finals week, so the lab is over at week 10. Lecture tests are in weeks 4 and 8, and then a final in week 11. And they are based on the weekly homework, and there are no lab tests. Discussions, when you see a discussion link for the week, we have a discussion in most, but not all weeks. So if you do see a discussion link, the initial posting is due Wednesday, and you'll have 2 replies due on Sunday. Week 1 is sort of just introducing yourself, but after that, we'll be talking about a physics topic, and your discussions will need to be at least 300 words and include a valid academic citation with each posting. I'll go ahead and check out the discussion instructions under the week 2 module for more information on that when you get to the week 2 discussion and need to know exactly what to do for the discussions. I just briefly would like to cover the lab portion of the course. All of you should be enrolled in both the lecture and the lab, and the page is set up really very similar. It's just a different link to go into the lab and see your lab assignments, but you'll see the objectives and introduction for the week, and then your whatever lab assignments you have. Typically there will only be one link under the lab assignments, and that will be your weekly lab or lab report that's due. This first week there's a separate link to order your lab supplies, and for this course I've put together a list of supplies that you'll need. And I'll go over that on the next slide, but there's a link here that you'll click on, a quiz link, and you'll just say, yes, I've ordered my supplies, or no, I haven't. And you can go back in at any time and update that and let me know when you have your supplies ordered. So a lot of the items that you need can be found at home, like string, styrofoam cups, things like that. I have set up an Amazon list of items. That's this link here. And if you click on that Order Lab Supplies link, it shows the instructions on what to do there, but you can click on the supply list and view those items on Amazon if you'd like to just view a better picture of those items. If you also scroll down here under the Order Lab Supplies link, you can see a list of all the supplies that you need to order. And I would like you to have get the week 1 through 4 supplies ready to go, and then you are allowed to skip one lab during weeks 5 through 10, so you can obtain those supplies later if you need to. Some students, money's an issue at the beginning, and they don't want to purchase all the lab supplies at once. So if you'd like to, once you get to weeks 5 through 10, you can order the supplies that you need for the week 5 through 10 labs. And again, you'll get to skip one of those labs, so that means you don't need to order the lab supplies for the lab that you skip. But again, once you have ordered the lab supplies that you need, you'll click on this Order Lab Supplies quiz and just submit that, yes, I've ordered my lab supplies. And If you haven't ordered your lab supplies by the end of week 1, you can say I haven't ordered them yet. That just lets me know who's got their lab supplies ready to go and who doesn't. But it is worth points to get your lab supplies. So when you do get them, you can go back to that link, retake this quote unquote quiz. It's not really a quiz, but we're just giving you points for getting your assignments ordered, but you can retake this and let me know you have your assignments, and then you'll get your points for, let me know you have your supplies, and then you'll get your points for having your supplies. Okay, your lab grade, you will receive a separate grade from the lecture. So again, please make sure you're checking your grades in each the lab and lecture section often. I'd really like to be perfect and have your grades always perfect, but errors do happen. So if you see anything that doesn't look right, one of your assignments doesn't get graded or grade gets entered that doesn't look right, don't panic. Let me know as soon as possible, and we will work to get your grade fixed and make sure it's correct. So last up here are my tips for how to succeed in an online course. And the first thing that I would recommend at this point in the course is to start the quarter right. So in this course and any of your other courses, go into the course, check out the syllabus, check out all the assignments that you'll need to be doing, get your textbook, your lab supplies, any other things you need for your courses to get started, so that right from the beginning you're ready to do your assignments and you know what you need to do, so you don't get behind in this first week. Next would be reviewing the calendar each week. This helps you keep track of what you need to do, make sure that you're not missing an assignment for any of your courses. And by reviewing the calendar each week, kind of keeps you focused on making sure you're working on the assignments that you need to work on and looking ahead to what's going to be coming up. Next, I'd say make sure that you have a dedicated place and time to do your work. There are certain, I know all of us have different situations, but there are definitely situations when you have distracting noises, other family members, that make it hard to get work done. So if it's possible to do your work in the place where you can best focus and at a time when you are best able to focus on getting your work done. You know, for myself, if I try to work with my kids around, I'm really unproductive. If I can get a few minutes to sneak away, I can get done in a few minutes what might have taken me an hour to do with all the chaos around me. So it's possible to find that quieter place to work that can really help be a time saver for you. Next is achieving a family, work, school, depending on what's going on in your life, balance. And by this, I mean, we all have different commitments that we need to meet, and it's not realistic to expect that school will be our only priority, especially on the online world, but we do have to work on trying to balance school with the other things that we need to do. So try to plan out as you look ahead to the quarter, planning when you're going to get your schoolwork done, when you're going to spend the time you need to with work or with family, and just juggling your schedules and trying to come up with a realistic plan of getting everything done that you need to get done, and not thinking that you're going to get all your schoolwork done for 3, 4, 5 classes in an hour once a week. So being realistic with your time for all of your different commitments. One of the other really big things to being successful is just staying on schedule. So if you have certain things you need to get done for the week, making sure you get those things done. When you get behind, it gets really hard to catch up because you have current week's work and then past work that's due, and it can become really overwhelming. So if it's possible, try each week to get the assignments done that need to get done and not let them start piling up on you. Next, I'd say, excuse me, stay motivated. So there comes a certain point, I know for myself in the quarter, when I get really burned out and it's hard to keep moving forward with everything I need to get done. And I know when I was a student, it was the same way. Different people, I think, find that at different times that they can really push through and get things done, and other times in the quarter are really hard to stay focused. So whenever that happens, that you're feeling like it's hard to keep up on what you need to get done, remind yourself it's only a certain number of weeks. Try to make a plan of what you're going to get done each week to finish off the course, and try to keep up that motivation. Know that it won't be forever, and you will be done with course and with school before you know it. So just keeping up that motivation throughout the quarter. Next, I'd say participate. So if you get engaged in the class, you participate in discussions, ask questions, get help when you need to. It really all does make the course easier. Talking with other students about questions, about difficulties, And as I mentioned, getting help when you need help just makes the course much easier than trying to struggle through it by yourself if you're struggling on something. Next, look for study partners. So if there's anyone in the course that wants to work together with you on an assignment and you can work together and help each other out, that would be great. When you submit your assignments, what I'm looking for on my end is that you do the write-ups on your own, but you can certainly, if you have someone you want to do labs with or any other activities with, you can do the activities together. So you could have the same data, for example, for a lab, but then write up the questions to the lab questions in your own words, each of you, so don't each turn in the same assignment. And my last tip would be is if there's a week when you are able to work ahead in any of your courses, try to do that. So try to work ahead a little bit, and that way it'll lessen up the load and the pressure later on in a week when maybe you have a lot going on. So if you're able to work ahead, feel free, at least in this course, to do that. It's whatever's available, you're welcome to work ahead on. And so those are my tips. And as I think I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things is just if you're struggling on something, don't sit and just struggle. If you're spending more than 10 minutes or so trying to figure something out, please feel free to send me an email or text message and ask for help, and probably can get you that help quickly so you're not sitting trying to figure something out on your own for hours and hours. So ask for help whenever you need it. I am more than happy to help. That's the end of our getting started with the course tutorial. So good luck in the course, and please don't hesitate to contact me at any time with any questions as you get started.